I found out that my parents secretly had a college fund for me. They spent it on my brother's third wedding. I worked 3 jobs through college. Every morning I'd open the coffee shop at 5 a.m., go to classes, then wait tables until midnight. Weekends I stocked shelves at the grocery store. My parents always said they wished they could help, but money was tight. They'd watch me eat rice and beans for the 5th day straight and say they were proud of how independent I was. My older brother Keith never went to college. He got married at 20 to his high school girlfriend, divorced at 22, married again at 24, divorced at 27, then got engaged again at 29. My parents paid for all of it. They said Keith needed more support because he didn't have a degree like I was getting. Made sense at the time. I graduated with $30,000 in loans, but I had my degree. Got a decent job at an accounting firm, started paying everything down, moved into my own place. Life was tight, but I was managing. Then my dad had a minor heart issue and needed someone to handle their finances while he recovered. That's when I found it. A statement from an old investment account with my name on it. The account was opened when I was born. Grandma had put in $10,000. My parents had added to it every year. By the time I turned 18, there was $42,000 in that account. It was emptied 3 months before I started college. The withdrawal date matched exactly with Keith's second wedding. I drove to their house immediately. My mom was in the kitchen making Keith's favorite lasagna because he was coming over with his new fiance to discuss wedding number 3. I put the statement on the counter. Mom looked at it and said it wasn't what it looked like. I asked what it looked like then. She said that money was family money and Keith needed it more. Dad came in and backed her up. They said I was doing fine on my own and Keith struggled with relationships, so he needed their financial support. I asked if they thought about telling me while I was working 60 hours a week to pay for textbooks. Mom said I was being selfish. Keith showed up with his fiance Ashley right then. She was already talking about their destination wedding plans. Keith saw the statement and immediately said that money was promised to him anyway because he was the oldest. Ashley started talking about how unfair it was that I was trying to take money from their special day. I hadn't even mentioned the current wedding yet. That's when Dad let it slip that they were planning to give Keith another $15,000 for this wedding, from their retirement account this time. I left without saying anything else, but I wasn't done. See, Keith owned a small construction business. He always bragged about how successful he was. What he didn't mention was that Dad co-signed all his business loans, and Mom did his books for free. I knew this because Mom would complain about doing his paperwork while I was studying for my CPA exam. First thing I did was stop doing their taxes. I'd been doing them for free since I graduated. When Mom called asking about it, I said I was too busy. She said I owed them for raising me. I said they owed me $42,000 for my education. She hung up. Then I started charging Keith market rate for any accounting advice. He called me screaming when he got my invoice for reviewing his quarterly reports. I told him successful businessmen pay for professional services. He said I was tearing the family apart. Next, I made sure I was conveniently unavailable every time they needed something. Dad needed a ride to his cardiology appointment during my work hours. Sorry, can't leave the office. Mom needed help setting up online banking. Maybe Keith can help since he got my college fund. The best part was Thanksgiving. They always hosted, and I always brought 3 dishes plus dessert. This year, I showed up with a store-bought pie. Mom was frantically cooking because she expected me to handle sides like always. Keith and Ashley were sitting in the living room while his 2 ex-wives were also there to drop off his kids. It was chaos. Full story on channel, link below.